Alright, Tube, how's it going? So today what I'm going to do is test the accuracy at 10 meters of two different pellets. I have Sig Sauer brand match ballistic alloys. So these are kind of the most accurate that Sig offers. They're not made of lead, as you see, match ballistic alloy. And then we have another brand, JSB, which is very trusted, consistent producers of pellets. Some people swear by them, but I'm choosing their extra heavy pellets here. I'm choosing the exact Monster Diablos, and these are 13.43 grain compared to Sigs, which are 5 point something. So these are more than twice as heavy. But I want to test them out, see how they are at accuracy. My chronograph isn't working right now. I think the lighting conditions aren't perfect, so I may wait till later tonight to give that a go. So this will be for accuracy. Now we're going to test actually a couple different things here. One is these two different pellets to see how accurate they are at shooting at this target from 10 meters. But I'm also going to be testing whether it's more accurate to seat the pellets than to not seat the pellets. And what does seating mean? Seating means you take this tool that's provided with the Sig CO2 MCX, and you insert the pellet, and then you press this tool into the hole and push the pellet down, and that's called seating. As opposed to just pushing the pellet in and leaving it flush against the surface. So what I've done is for 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have it unseated. I have it flush against the plastic, and for the next 4, I actually have it recessed by using the tool. And I do that every other 4 here is seated. And the reason for that is I'm going to do 4 across here without using the seating tool, and then the next 4 are the pellets that use the seating tool, then 4 unseated, 4 seated, 4 unseated, 4 seated, and then the last 6 down here are actually the super heavies. So I'm only doing 6 of the super heavies, and the first 3 are unseated and the last 3 are seated. And what I'll do for those last 3 after I've gone 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, is I'm going to go down this for the unseated and down here for the seated. Okay, all right, let's give this a go. Let me adjust the camera there. Okay, let's first load this guy. Alright. So I have this all planned out, right? Which pellets I want to go first. And so I'm going to actually advance the belt here until the pellets which I want to go first are right before what's showing. So right here. So right now this is the last pellet. This is the super heavy JSB Monster. But when I pull that charging handle, it's going to advance to this one, which is the unseated Sig Sauer. Okay. So I'll leave it right here. Close that up. Put her in. Okay. Charging handle, and we're good to go. Alright, the camera turned off for that first attempt, so I reloaded and went again. Alright, so what do we have for results here? Looks pretty good. As you saw, I shot pretty fast, about 2 seconds per shot or so, including changing aim for different targets. And just about everything is within the 1-inch grouping here, right? Very tight, very, very tight groupings here. So for these two in the middle here, I would say that's easily a 1/2-inch group. Maybe this more close to a 3/4 inch group, but here, these are just great. The only inaccurate shot really was this stray here. Not sure what happened. I was definitely aiming here. This was one of the unseated pellets, but with just one of them doing that, I can't tell you that it was definitely because it wasn't seated or not. But we only have one stray. Everything else is 1-inch group or better, except for those last 2 shots. So, I had 6 heavies loaded, but as you saw, those last 2 were just so off target, I decided not to shoot anymore. So the first one, which again, these are the JSB Monster pellets, 13.43 grain, and I was aiming here. This is unseated, and the shot ended up here for the JSB. For the seated, I shot here, and it ended up here. Not sure what's going on there, right? Was there actually more FPS behind the unseated than the seated? I don't know. In any case, not liking the Monsters. They probably were not at all made for this gun, and vice versa. So I'm gonna stick to grain sizes, no more than 8. I haven't tried 8 yet, actually, but the 5 point something grain that the Sigs are seems to be perfect. So there you go. In terms of seated versus not seated, I have an impression that the seated is faster. It just feels like when I pull the trigger and when I hear that impact, it's more immediate. Whereas with the unseated that are just flush against the top of the belt, when I pull the trigger, I feel like there's a little bit of a delay. And I think that delay is a lower frame per second, feet per second, sorry. And when I get that Chrony working finally, I guess we'll see. We'll see if it is an FPS, a significant FPS difference, such that some people who are claiming that they're getting less than 100, 150 lower than manufacturers claimed FPS, maybe it's because they're not seating their pellets. So we'll look into that. But yeah, in terms of accuracy, pretty much the same. Maybe a slight edge to the seated, but I'll have to kind of look at the replay to figure that one out. All right, so pretty happy with the gun. It's shooting nicely.